But what's going on with pharmaceuticals, especially in the light of the latest comments coming in from the Teva CEO, wherein he says that there is a dramatic change in the US pricing environment that he foresees and expect to have a more stable situation this year. Also, prices have declined, and that has not been witnessed in the US markets. But Teva is going to rationalize 10% of its portfolio, and overall market is going to remain stable. So, A, what to read into Teva CEO's comments, and B, what does it really spell for the Indian pharmaceutical industry? Joining us on the show right now, Gurudutta GG, Director and CEO at Estima Pharma Solutions, and Surajit Pal from Prabhudas Liladher as well. Gentlemen, morning. Gurudutta, if I could start off with you, tell us about what really are the trends in the pharma industry right now. You know, the Teva CEO overnight has said that there has been a dramatic change in the US pricing environment and that he expects to have a more stable situation the hereafter. What is your view on the same?
Yes, considering 2019, it is based on the project, they published the reports and the information is available from the US market. The 2019 for pharma, it is going to be the stable environment with respect to the US pricing pressure. Consider in 2018, people have seen 10 to 12% price reduction with respect to the generic market, whereas in this year it is going to be reduced. Maybe we can look at around maximum at about 5 to 8% reduction. However, it depends upon the product selection as we need to take care of it.
Surajit, morning. Do you expect the US generic market to drastically improve on an absolute term from hereafter?
Drastically improvement? Answer is no. But arithmetically, when you see the fall in prices for say last 3.5 years, it is quite normal is that from the 10-12% could become stable at around 8 to 10%. But what has not been changed is that there is not change in terms of increase in number of buyers or increase in number of that group. So what it means is that the demand or the buyer remains the same. So there is a consolidation may not have happened further. It has happened quite a lot. So as a result of it, you cannot expect any drastic improvement in that market. Rather, I would say is that Teva's guy also said the similar thing in 2016, which actually contradicted by McKesson that point of time. Teva expected around 4-5%, McKesson expected 12-13%. Ultimately, McKesson came right because they are ultimately the buyer from these companies. And if Teva is right, then why Teva is withdrawing so many products from the market? So even if those percentages came down, now what happened is that there are many guys sitting with much bigger capacity. For example, IFCA got approval. IFCA get their problem solved. They have a huge capacity. They will enter the market with price crash or with much more price correction because currently their revenue is zero. So is Stride. Stride has so many products in older molecules. So I don't think even if Teva Sandoz leaving many products, there is no dearth of guys who will keep on supplying. So don't expect any drastic improvement. Yes, arithmetically it was 10-12%, it is now 8-10%, which is normal.
Right. Surajit, what is your view then in terms of how a lot of big companies are focusing on cost-cutting initiatives, which will pave the way for 2019, or do you think the benefits of cost-cutting will come through in the margin soon enough?
It is tough to say. We have an example in last 3-4 years. Sun Pharma is one example, or currently what we are seeing is Cipla and Dr. Reddy's. Cost cutting is happening, but that does not percolate into increase in margin. So even if I see that that when the tough time started for Indian guys, for all the generic guys, 2014 and or 2015, that time margin on an average Indian guys used to have around 25%. So rest of the market, non-US export and Indian market, if I take it as where it was, though not much of difference, the basic difference came from US market. So overall margin for these big guys has come down from those 25-30%. For Sun Pharma it is 40% plus. Currently everybody is talking about below 20%, right? And most of the guys are very happy settling around 15 to 18%, 16%. Some of the guys in many quarters are giving 12, 13%, 14% if you remove the other operating income. So basically this is the scenario. So yes, the slide could be restricted to a certain extent, but don't expect that will increase the margin, at least in near to medium term.
Gurudutta, what according to you has been the initial response to the specialty pipeline, both for Lupin as well as Sun Pharma? Actually, Sun Pharma, it has been quite strong.
The immediate route.
Gurudutta, the question was for you.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, please?
No, just wanted to understand, what is it that you're making of the specialty pipeline when it comes to Lupin? And what do you think would be the initial response, given that Sun Pharma has had a very strong response to its pipeline?
Yes, with respect to the pipeline, Sun Pharma is working on a lot of injectable products, whereas US FDA also is giving a lot of importance by releasing a lot of complex generic guidelines with respect to injectables, and Sun Pharma is taking definitely an advantage out of it, and they are working on a lot of specialty generic injectable products, because of which they can get a better margin than the present Me Too products. In the same way, even Lupin also is working on the similar lines, where they are also concentrating on the injectable products.
Surajit, do you think pharma sector earnings are coming off a low base, and thereby we will see a big improvement in their earnings? And will that really drive stock prices higher as well?
See, there are two issues before expecting that margin to be improving or earnings will come off better. Definitely base is lower. There is no doubt on it. Does it mean that will it go up on that lower base? No, because the market scenario has been changed, macroeconomic scenario has been changed, your overhead structure also has been changed, which means is that 10% plus you have to invest in R&D. Number one. Number two, you will be spending so much of money when you will be launching your product. Say for 18 to 24 months, you can't expect any profit out of your specialty product, for which you are developing a sales team, for which you are spending money on promotion, and you don't know whether that product will be succeed or not. So you can definitely do all those things on your Excel sheet in terms assuming success, but success is not that easily available, because had that been a case, which I take is Teva, Watson, Mylan, those who are much ahead than us, at least 5 years in terms of generic business, of foreseeing that, they don't have much of revenue from that area. I mean, from the specialty product, which is basically improvement of existing generics. I mean, don't take Copixon as in improvement on generics, it's an NC product. So the typical Indian guys who are getting into that business, how many of them will be succeed? It's a matter of argument. But since 2002 to 2015, I could say is that only 3 specialty products succeed, and all the 3 belong to Ranbaxy, Austral Ranbaxy. And other guys whoever launched those products did not get much success. So it's a totally new water altogether. We have to wait to see how it has come out for them, because they have spent a lot of money, and assuming that they will come off very good, and I am giving them assumption, it's too much of risk. So risk return metrics currently is not very favorable for Indian companies, even if the EPS base is low.
Okay. So what's the way forward? I mean, are both of you very optimistic about the scenario picking up for pharma, as the street is as well currently, given the global and local environment? And Gurudutta, I'll take that question with you first.
Yes, absolutely. We are very much optimistic with respect to 2019, with respect to pharma generics. And because the US FDA has initiated that JUDUFA fees with respect for the ANDA approvals, and because of which they started initiating complex generic molecules, and they are even helping us, facilitating the pharma companies with respect to the product development stages, pre-submission stages, and FDA is arranging the meetings also with the pharma companies so that the approval of the products will be faster. Consider the earlier stage where ANDA approvals would have been taken about 36 months time, and nowadays in 2018 it has been reduced drastically, and the approvals are taking very shorter time also, and preferred generics is even 8 months also you are getting the approvals, or generally within about 18 months you can definitely get an ANDA approvals, because of which the pharma companies can be definitely optimistic.
Okay, we leave it at that. Surajit as well as Gurudutt, thanks very much for taking out the time to give us your perspective on the pharma sector.